Hello everyone, I'm Indra Bartona and welcome to my show. If you haven't joined me before, I talk about topics related to how to stay on track to a positive vibe lifestyle, interview guests, and host guided meditations. Today is a really special show because it is part two of our interview with Moji Olua. Now, we had Moji here a couple of weeks ago and we had to make a part two because he had some amazing insights on how he uses mindfulness to train his private clients. So, hope you enjoy. So, Moji, I know previously we were discussing a lot in detail about mindfulness, about your experience and how you apply it all. I would like to know today, how do you apply your mindfulness and your techniques to your clients at hand? Because I don't know if many trainers take your approach. I mean, we were talking about before.
Yeah.
I'd love you to share some of that.
Yeah, so like we said earlier, that in the industry, mindfulness is not even applied. It's all about the physical side. Eat this way, train this way, and that's it. And take this supplement. But for me, I take a different approach to it. When I meet a potential client, I meet them, family. Do you have a family? Do you have a relationship? What do you do for a living? And then the last question is, have you ever been through any adversity in the past? Have you been through pain? Have you been through trauma? And how were you able to overcome that? And when you were going through it, you were thinking, how am I going to be able to overcome this? But you did. You were able to come out of it better than before. So I tell them that we're going to need that later on when we start working out. And so when we get into the gym, start working out, and maybe we're doing a certain exercise, and I tell them, okay, give me this amount of reps, and they have maybe 3 or 4 reps to go, and they say, well, I can't do it. I'm in pain. I'm hurting. And that's when I say, okay, remember when I asked you a few weeks ago, if you've been through something, now we're going to recycle your pain. Meaning we're going to bring that same drive you put into when you were going through that pain in the past and you were able to overcome that adversity. Bring that pain into this moment.
This is amazing because, so the whole lot of things you're talking about on so many different levels, because not only are they you drawing on that and recycling that pain, I almost feel like it's therapeutic for them.
Yes.
So that's something that happened to them in their life, and then so say for example they're leg pressing or something, so they're pushing through that pain.
Yeah.
This is amazing.
Yeah.
And I've never heard of that before.
Yeah.
It's fascinating.
Yeah, they were able to bring that drive, that determination of, okay, I was able to overcome that. I'm bringing that in here because whether you like it or not, every day we go through fight or flight. You're getting cues from the environment. Do I run or do I fight? Or do I go into calm? So when you doing your exercise, this is the explanation that most trainers won't even give. When you're working out, you're going through fight or flight. Because immediately you start feeling that burning sensation, immediately your brain is going to say, you're hurting. Stop. Or you got 5 more. Keep going, because you know at the end of that 5 reps, there's something there waiting for you.
Right.
Is that maybe you want to be stronger, you want to shape your legs or whatever it is, or you want to be able to run further. And when you push through that, you conquer that moment. Once you conquer a moment, it will never come back to challenge you again. Because when it shows up, you'll be like, I've done this before.
I did this last week.
This can't get me again. So by going through fight or flight when you're working out, you want to fight. Because there's something that brought you to that moment. Something brought you to me. You said, I want to achieve something. I want to change something. And you have a why. I always ask my client this. What is your why? What is your big why? When you go into that gym and you're about to work out and maybe you're doing a certain amount of reps and you say, oh, I can't. That's when the why slides in. So the why is bigger than your temporary pain. Because whether you like it or not, you are going to feel pain. Okay? So once you start embracing the pain becomes a little bit more smaller and the why becomes bigger.
And I know we're looking at this, but conceptually, I mean, there is no escape from pain in our lives anyway.
Yeah, I agree.
Right.
Agreed.
So,
Yeah.
and I mean, I know it's a very, Buddhist kind of thing,
Yeah.
of the suffering and things. But I mean, if there's certain goals that, say, your clients have, and you're supporting those goals, I mean, they have to expect that there is going to be some sort of pain
involved.
To retrain. And what I find fascinating is you're explaining to them that you're not just retraining your body, but you're retraining your mind, because you're never going to go back there again. So that is really,
I agree.
That's valuable stuff.
Because like we were talking about Joe Dispenza earlier, he always talk about neuroplasticity. The brain is not set in stone. Okay, the more you start taking a different action, you start rewiring the brain. So all of a sudden, the old action doesn't even exist anymore. Now you have new action.
Right.
But in this process, you need pain to rewire, retune. Because if you just sit there thinking it's going to happen on its own, it's not going to happen. Like you all said, pain is a way of life. I don't think there's something that anyone has ever achieved or accomplished in life and they've never gone through pain.
Or sacrifice.
Or you know what I always say? When I use sacrifice for my client, I can see they tense up. Okay. So I try to use investing. So
invest yourself into
into it, because sacrifice for them is like something that's very intense.
Oh, okay.
Like it's very huge, and I can see them. You mean I have to sacrifice this? I have to sacrifice that. So when I use that word, they don't want to sacrifice giving something up.
No.
But if you invest in it, this is an investment in yourself. When you work out, when you eat right, when you do your exercise when you're supposed to, when you make sure you tune yourself into what you're doing, you're investing in yourself.
And that's the truth, because it's a long-term investment.
Yes.
It's the same as like a monetary investment, over time.
Over time.
Right.
The time is huge.
Right.
The time is huge. And I always tell my client, look, don't look at the time. Just stay with the process. They said it takes about 10,000 hours to be able to master a skill. That's almost a year and a half. And you have to do it over and over.
And it's overwhelming to think about. Like I'm going to be, it's like
a year and a half. That's long.
Oh my gosh, I'm going to go from A to B in a year. But, and even 10,000 hours. But if you just look at, okay, well, I'm going to invest in the process.
Yes.
I love that mindset.
Yes.
Because that really is very positive. And it seems like it's more achievable.
Yes.
So your clients will obviously they're responding in a very positive way.
And they'll stick to it. And the reason why I like to use, because like I was telling you about the polyvagal theory earlier, about the words that you use and the tone and then your facial expression. It is so, because your body is getting those cues. Subconsciously you're looking at me when I'm telling you, but your nervous system is reading into it. And then they're storing that information. Oh, he said I'm going to sacrifice, and he looked at me very intense. That is so scary. Your body is going to go into protection mode. It's going to go into, oh, that's not safe for me. But when I say, okay, we're going to invest in this. We're just going to do a daily investment.
That's it.
And then when I say that, I can see that they breathe. So I'm picking up those cues as I'm telling them this.
Yes.
And because you want to be able to make sure they're regulated when you're training them or giving them, because if they're out of regulation, all the information is not going in, because now they're protecting themselves.
Yes, they're putting up the barriers.
Yeah.
So you want them to be open and accepting of, okay, well, this week we're going to be doing this, and next week, it could be this.
Yeah.
And, and without them going, oh no, he's always introducing something new and torturous.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting you say that. My clients always call me expect the unexpected. Because I believe that in the fitness world, everybody's method is different. And I respect everybody's method. But my method, I always feel like I want it to be a little bit more like going to a resort. You go into you've never been there before, and then you walk in and the person leading say, you know what, we guys are going to have an amazing day, an amazing time, amazing month. So I want every workout session to be a different experience. That's my method. I don't want you to think, oh, I know what I'm going to do this week. So you're already prepared. You show up and they're like, uh-oh. So they come in. Some of them are a little bit anxious. I'm like, I sit them and I say, take a deep breath. You're going to be okay. It's only an hour.
Well, that was particularly when I was getting to know you. I would see you coming towards me with a look of intensity. And
then everything breaks down afterwards,
I was
right?
like, yeah. And then, and then the big smile.
Yeah.
You come up with a big smile, and I'm like, sorry, like, it's not going to be so bad. Whatever he's got in store for me, it's fine. Yeah. And it was fine.
Yeah. So in a nutshell, for me, I would say pain is a way of life. Because I've learned to embrace pain. Because I always tell my female clients, I said, do you know, as a mother, you've gone through the most life and death-defying experience? Because birth is a life and death experience. But you were able to overcome that. You have your baby.
Yes.
I said, as a woman, you're going to go through that once, maybe twice, again. So I always tell my client, when they tell me I can't do this, I'm like, I'm going to tell you something. I said, do you know you've done something great and you didn't even know you did it? They go, what? Childbirth. You came out of that birth and you are alive. You can breathe. Your limbs are all there. And you survived that. I said, if you can survive that, 3 more repetitions is nothing. And when I tell them that, they just light up.
Yeah, because
they're like, 3 reps, childbirth? That's easy.
Right.
And like I said, it's tapping into that belief. And I said, when you finish this workout, take that mindset with you into the real world. Don't leave it here. Because when you get out there, that same amount of 5 repetitions might happen in the office.
Yes.
It might happen when you're making a deal. It might happen when you're starting the business. But don't leave it here. Take that. And I've had one client called me one day and she started crying. I'm like, what happened? She goes, I would just want to thank you. I'm like, why? She goes, I had a hard day at work today. It was so challenging. I was this close to quitting. But I remember one of our sessions. I was this close to quit and you told me something. I forgot what you told me. And then you pushed me and I was able to finish it. And I was so excited and happy that I finished that workout. And she said, the recycling the pain. She said, when I thought about your workout and I thought about what I was going through at work, I'm like, I can do this.
Yes.
She said, and I did it.
Yes.
And I said, working out with me, I feel like it's life. It's life.
It's a powerful mindset. And the rewiring that happens, and I don't think anybody even realizes it, that they're rewiring because they're thinking, well, I'm doing a workout. But then it sounds like some of your clients are actually, it sounds like a lot of them are taking that on and taking it into their day. So, that's really powerful. Yeah. And you're giving them something more than, they're not just getting a workout.
Yes.
You are giving them the wealth of what you're learning and sharing with them, which is wonderful.
Yeah. Sometimes I even recommend books. I'm like, try this book, try this. I send them meditation videos. And, when you wake up in the morning, try this and try that and see what happens. And you know what? It's amazing how that side of their life improves, the physical side in the gym improves even more.
I always think it's the physical, the mind, body and soul needs to be all aligned and working together as a team, whereas, our emotional is shut down, but we're working really hard at the gym. So, it's just like, it's
out of balance. Yes.
Yeah, it's an imbalance.
Yeah.
So to pull it all together is a wonderful service that you provide to your clients.
Thank you.
It's a wonderful thing, really.
Thank you.
And it's even more exciting to hear the story of what the exercise, you're training them, and then this is what they did in their real life. They took it outside.
Yeah, I always tell them, take it with you. It's like if you walk into the temple and you go pray and you meditate and you're mindful and you want to model your life around being a better person, a kind, empathetic person. I always say empathy is compassion in action, And then you get out of that temple, and then you get in your car. Maybe someone cut you off, and then you cuss at them.
Right.
And then you say all sorts of nasty stuff. I'm like, why did you even go in there and you did all that work? But that means you didn't take it with you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So take it with you.
Take it with you, yes.
Take it with you is the motto.
Yeah.
Take it with you into life.
Yes.
Don't just read your mindful books and practice meditation and then get in the car. I think that's the real test because things are going to happen when
Yes.
you're driving.
Yes.
And when you're in life.
Yes.
When you're in life, it's every moment. We can't control all these factors in our life.
I agree.
And I think that's the thing, that when you realize that you can only control yourself, that is the only thing that we have.
Yes.
And controlling our emotions and our thoughts, and that is where the power is.
I agree.
Take it from a Olympic, weightlifter that has won gold, right?
Yeah. Yeah, so it's just allowing your body and your mind to align, and then when the messages comes, don't push them away. Like now, when something comes to me, I'm like, okay, what is that? Okay, explore it. I mean, where did that come? I don't know where it came from, but I'm going to explore it and find out why that is there. And find out why it came to me. So I just try to for me, it's just being the person that I always want to be at all time,
Yes.
no matter what.
What happens in the world,
Yes.
in the universe.
And which is my clients, that's very hard to do. I'm like, it should be hard to do. Because
But
if it was easy to do, everybody would be doing it. Because
Right.
when it's hard, it means you're evolving.
That's
you're
right.
growing.
And you're setting an example, to all of your clients and the people that know you by living your life in that way. And I think that's really wonderful.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's been such a pleasure to have you.
Thank you for having
Moji.
me.
Thank you
Appreciate
so
it.
much for coming
My
and for
pleasure.
sharing all of your insights and your wisdom with us.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you everyone for joining me on this interview with Moji Olua, part 2, extended version. It was a pleasure having him on the show, and I just want to remind you all to please subscribe to the show, give me a thumbs up, like and write comments, because we'd love to hear from you. Now if you'd like to get a hold of Moji, all of his contact information, his socials will be below the video, so go ahead and follow him on Instagram, on Facebook. He's available and he is an amazing personal trainer. I'll be back soon with a new show. And in the meantime, I am sending you love, light, and blessings.